Told them I am the prince of grime, and I just came back from putting brothers in hearses. I was with verses, talking all about other verses. Perfect. RTL. Young gun of the scene, Vieira, I'm keen. Might turn up with the troops like.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel, and this is our hot topics of the week, and I'm joined with my esteemed guest, Total Tide Talks. What are you saying, bro?
I'm doing amazing. I'm just glad to be back on the channel.
Always good having you, my brother. It's been a while. The people like us getting together, so we're looking to do more of this, more of
Actually,
this.
have to.
We need to make a name for the show, actually, though.
I'm thinking the exact same.
Let's let the viewers in the comments decide. You decide a name for the show. We might even give you a prize. Let's see how that goes.
Nice idea. Okay.
I like that idea. But people, before we get into it, allow me to plug Total Tide Talks. Please go subscribe to the man's channel. Link is in the description below. Most importantly, like and subscribe. Caramba, puta, kiparia, don't be a filendia na puta. Don't let me bring out the hot spoon, the slipper. Don't let me take off the slipper. Please subscribe, like and subscribe. Caramba, share the thing. Links to all our channels, everything, all the plugs. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, everything. Snapchat, whatever chat you want to talk. We got it there. Link is in the description. Ty? There's only one place to start. Tactical Tommy gets the sack from Chelsea. Talk to me, my brother. What do you say about that?
It's been coming. That's the thing. Like, I feel like even Chelsea fans will admit that they knew sooner or later. I feel like even Chelsea fans know that sooner or later it was going to happen. I mean, he never got the backing that he wanted from the club. He got some signings, but ultimately you could see that these were never signings
the
that
guy
he wanted.
spent over how much million, bro?
I mean,
Over
you're
200,
thinking about it
bro.
like this. Every single player that he came in, they had this is basically how I saw it.
Okay.
Every single player that was signed, there was always an adjustment period. It was him trying out this player in different formations. Kai Havertz, when he came in, he was a midfielder.
True.
All of a sudden, right wing, then playing the false nine.
Facts.
So clearly to me, that smells like a player that I never actually had a plan for this guy, so ultimately I never wanted him. The club came to me and said, okay, we're thinking about giving you this guy. Are you guys cool with him? Okay, let's just sign him. So with a lot of the players that they got, even Lukaku, we first thought, okay, he's gonna be running in behind, but then we know Lukaku doesn't play like that. So for me, the issue was he was getting signings through the door, but ultimately it wasn't signings that either he wanted in the team
Or the club.
Or yes, because
Could be the club, could be Bowley flexing his muscles.
Because even that, as soon as Bowley came in, the first thing he said is, "I'm going to be investing in the team, and I'm gonna be signing players."
Of course.
The players that he was looking at was a goalkeeper that was playing in the MLS. That 19-year-old guy, I can't remember his name. That was one of the signings. The other player was Sterling, but now you're being forced to play Sterling as a striker, even though Sterling is not in that position.
Not gonna work
You're being linked to a lot of American players. So ultimately, the money's there. You're looking at these, but are these the players that you wanted? And who was the guy from Anthony Gordon from Everton? That was even another one. Like,
that's another one. 60 million for that, brother.
So the question was, what was going to be happening? Like, the question was, how was Tuchel going to be putting all these players into his team? Because now he's being forced, he's getting signings, and once a signing comes in, the first thing you think is, okay, this guy needs to start playing. Look at Casemiro, for example. He came into United. The first question was, okay, why didn't he start in this past 2 games?
Exactly.
But then you're looking at on-pitch performances, and you're like, okay, he's not going to take Eriksen's position. And then you have the work that McTominay was doing in the past few games.
That's rugby. That's not work. That's rugby. Somebody needs to tell this guy the fucking rugby World Cup only starts next year. But we'll get into that.
But you get what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
As sad as it is, I didn't want the man to lose his job because he looks like one of the nicest guys on earth. But unfortunately, that's how football works. And hopefully you'll find another club after this, hopefully. But unfortunately, that's just how they do things at Chelsea.
True.
So even though Abramovich is gone, they are still going to be as strict as they always were on their coaches. So I'm looking to see who's going to be the next coach who's going to come in. But what's your thoughts?
There are talks of Potter. I wanted to actually jump on it as well. Graham Potter coming in. How do you see that one going?
Brilliant coach. This could be the step that he needed. But at the same time,
they give him time though.
But that was my thing, because ultimately, if you going for Potter, you're not going to give him the same time that Brighton did, because ultimately, if we're looking at the success now, but he's been working with Brighton for so long. He's been developing the squad.
He's implemented his style.
I can't see Chelsea giving him a chance and then they're in 6th season, and then next season potentially hoping for a better one. And also, this is a weird one, but this is one of my first thoughts when I heard that he was being linked. the signings that he ultimately signs off on, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit at Chelsea.
Exactly.
Because realistically, telling Chelsea fans, okay, we're signing this random guy, Casado, that was playing in this league,
True.
now coming into Chelsea. Let's hope that he works.
Exactly.
And also now there's a lot of things that goes into it. Even the pressure that a player has going into Chelsea is totally different.
Yeah,
United.
exactly. Chelsea want success now. They
Exactly.
don't care, bro.
So even that, will he be able to handle big name players? Will he be able to walk into that Chelsea dressing room and actually demand respect? Will he be able to play his stylish football at Chelsea? Because now also you're thinking about the type of players that they have in their team doesn't necessarily fit that. So he potentially, if he decides it, he would be leaving a attractive football playing team to go to Chelsea and then try to mold these players into that, but they don't necessarily play that way.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of issues behind that. He's a good signing if it works. He would be awesome there. But okay, if I'm being honest, I would rather go for him over the Pochettino links. if I'm being
Exactly.
honest.
True.
So I don't know how to feel about it, but I think if it works, it would be cool. He does need a step up, and there was talks of him going to United. There's talks of him going to Chelsea now. So sooner or later, that step up is going to happen.
true.
What about you? What do you think?
No, look, I agree with you fully on the Potter talks. I can't see Poch going there because Poch didn't want to come to Arsenal, but look, Tottenham and Arsenal are different to the rivalry of Spurs and Chelsea. Zidane, I think, is holding out for the French job as well.
Yeah, same here.
So I wish he can come in because I'm tired of Deschamps as well, but that's a story for another day. But I agree with you, Tenfield. I think Potter, I hope they're going to give him time, but Chelsea fans might be patient, but the owner isn't. The owner is there to flex his muscles. And I mean, you could see when anybody comes new into a job, you get rid of everybody else. You get rid of, I mean, look what, he came in there, he got rid of Peter Cech, he got rid of Marina, and now Tuchel was the last head to roll. And I think the problems was coming for Tuchel in the preseason already. You could see something just wasn't right. And ultimately, I think he lost the dressing room person.
Yeah.
Once that happens, you can be as good as a coach as you want to be. But once you lose the dressing room, it's easier to get rid of one manager than a whole dressing room of players. So
Exactly.
let's see how it pans out. Now let's get into the Champions League. Only one place to start, my man. Liverpool 4, Napoli 1, brother. Hey.
Ah, that's
Look,
why.
Napoli is a difficult ground, but Liverpool, bro, give me your thoughts on what you saw last night, my guy.
If Liverpool has been on a bad run so far this season, they haven't been the Liverpool that we know, and in the Champions League, that's basically what just stamped it all. It's the pressure, it's the stress that the coach is feeling, the players themselves, and now all of a sudden they play in the Champions League in a game that they were expecting to be a challenge, but still expecting to walk away from it. Now they get smashed in that manner. The fact that he even rotated so many players, they even rotated like a couple of players in the team, you could even say that he didn't think there would be that much of a challenge. And then last night, seeing Coach Joe Gomez have one of the worst games that I've ever seen him play, Trent Alexander look horrible in that team. He actually reminded me of Willian at Arsenal. Like just that's how he played last night. Just whopping in balls, staying on the side, everyone just running past him. That's how he looked to me last night. And that's the thing. It's just I don't know where this is going to go from Liverpool, because a lot of people are saying that Liverpool's just going to they're going to pick themselves up and they're going to get better. But realistically, like, all they lost was Mane. So it's like you're looking at this team and you're like, they shouldn't be that bad. Like they lost Mane, but they signed Darwin Núñez. They kind of still in that same place. So how are they all of a sudden this bad? Is it the tactics? Is it them overworking themselves on the pitch? Is it the lack of midfielders, like some people were saying? That's why they got an Arthur Mello on a loan. What do you think?
Look, my personal opinion on it is, number one, they didn't reinvest in that squad. First and foremost, like, look, what Klopp was doing constantly is bringing in one here and there, one and there. That was okay 2 years ago. Interestingly enough, I only noticed it the next day afterwards. That team that played against Manchester United, that got outplayed, obliterated by Manchester United. Of that team, only 2 players were different from the team that played Manchester United at Old Trafford in 2018.
Okay, I'll see that.
Only Diaz and Harvey Elliott. That's the only 2 players. That's mad. You need to reinvest in that squad. That is not the youngest squad. That squad is older. You're still playing in midfield with Mulderson. How are you going to get that? Now let's go a bit further. We all know this is a different season because of the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
So obviously injuries are going to come. It's inevitable. Number one, injuries are going to come. They are already stricken with injuries. But what is telling the toll for me, and I know everybody says I have a soft spot to Liverpool. I'm not making an excuse for them. But Liverpool fans were always jumping on this thing last season of we've played in all the possible games we could play in the season and that type of thing. That's taking its toll now on them because they look fatigued now, man. I'm telling you straight up the way I can see it. They look fatigued. That entire squad, their midfield, nowhere. Everyone looks fatigued, and the biggest issue for me is Van Dijk looks like he's already at the World Cup. Van Dijk looks like his mind is already on the World Cup. So something needs to go on there. He needs to reinvest in that squad. Get rid of the old players. For me, first and foremost, because it could be a long season for Liverpool. Darwin Núñez, honestly, look, every team is going to miss Mane's goals. But his replacement Diaz is doing the business. So I don't know, that argument doesn't run with me.
Exactly.
Darwin Núñez, I think is a bum. Personally, he's a bum. Now, honestly, I don't see, he will get goals for them, but he's not what they need. Honestly, he's a flop. He's going to be a flop. I can see it. But I don't know, maybe I'm here to be proved wrong, but let's see how it goes. So that's the one game.
But I just had to point out one thing. I just wanted to, just before we jump off of that.
Okay.
The problem with that is also if you're looking at their squad as a whole, how would you even add to that squad besides signing like a couple of bench players here and there? Because I mean, realistically thinking about it, when they lost Mane, they did think that they were getting in a replacement by signing Núñez. 100 million, top-rated player.
Yeah, but he scored goals in the Portuguese
league. But I mean, now you're looking at the rest of the team. How were you going to like kind of phase out Van Dijk? Joe Gomez, he's still highly rated.
They got Konate for that. They got Konate
and they still have Matip. And then Trent Alexander, loved by all the Liverpool fans. Okay, not all of them. Then you have Robertson, and it's like
Tsimikas is a good replacement.
So I mean, like, how would you really add to the team?
For me, when Liverpool were winning leagues, winning a league title, winning the Champions League, playing the dominating football, they used to win games in midfield.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at it nicely, everything happened in midfield. When they had Fabinho, Henderson on his pop, and Gino Wijnaldum. So I'd go firstly, sort out that midfield. Honestly, I would sort out that midfield. Bun, Henderson. They were linked with Tielemans. Why?
I'm actually shocked that they didn't push more.
They could have pushed more for Tielemans. Tielemans would improve that team. You could have gone for Milinkovic-Savic as well. That would have improved your team. There are players out there. Even Basuma, I'm sure Basuma would have improved their team as well. So look, let's see how it goes. But let's come on to your team. What did you make of it? 4-1 last night, Barcelona. Lewandowski doing the business.
I mean, when we played the game, I was expecting to come out with a win. Was not expecting Lewandowski to score a hat-trick last night. And at the same time, out of the rotations that happened in the team, for the first time in I don't know how many years, Barca actually rotated the team and still won a game. That's like, I don't like if you're really a Barca fan, then you will know we have this curse when it comes to rotating a team. You want it to happen, but for some reason when we rotated, we were on the verge of going unbeaten in a season. We decided to rotate our team in the second last game of the season. That was against Levante. And then that season, and then when we ended up losing 4-3 to them. We just have this thing where rotation never works. But for some reason, it worked last night. It was so good. It just shows that what Xavi is doing about giving all of these players this winning mentality, this winning spirit. And that was the first thing that Rafinha actually said when he came into Barca. In the first training session, he said he loves the fact that this is the first coach that ever pushed him. So he loves the fact that this was a coach that was really actually challenging him, and now you think about that's he's saying that because he was being interviewed, but maybe that's what I expect all the other players are feeling as well. He's doing an amazing thing at Barca, and I really do love the way that we're playing now. It's all out attack. And if you ask Xavi what's his tactics on the pitch, what's he thinking, he always says the exact same thing. We just need to dominate the ball.
True.
Win the ball. He says as long as the ball is with the Barcelona player, we are doing well.
True.
And I love that mentality, and that just shows. And now on top of it, you also have the signing of Lewandowski. Like, I'll be honest, when Lewandowski came in on that money, at being the age that he is, and also he came from the Bundesliga, there was a bit of worry. Like, there was like, okay, it is Lewandowski.
Can he still?
But can he do that? Because that's the worry. It's like, I wonder if he can still be at that level. Or he's like just, the Bundesliga was probably just shit. And that's why he's not, and that's why he scored so many goals. But he's doing it. And on top of it also, the nice part for me is the fact that there's so many youngsters in the team. Like, I mean, we have one of the best golden generations. I would say in how many years that's going on now. I mean, three of the 5 best young players in the world all play for Barca.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's an exciting thing. Then you have a young defense. Like the other week, I was so shocked to see that Barcelona was playing with the defense of Eric Garcia, Araujo, Koundé, and Alex Balde. That's 18, 21, 23, and 23.
Exactly, you can build on that. You can build on that for a couple of years.
Now the nice thing is, if you phase out, let's say you phase out Sergio Busquets, you play Frankie de Jong in that position.
Exactly.
You have Gavi and Pedri. Then you're really thinking about the only two players in the entire team that's over the age of 30 is the Stegen and Lewandowski.
Exactly.
Now you have this Lewandowski that's playing that experienced forward role. You have these exciting youngsters around him that's running, dribbling, skilling, everything, with flair. And then all he has to do is he just has to be that calm head in the box that needs to score the goals. And I love the fact that every single time there's a missed chance in a Barcelona shirt this season, the first thing you see is Lewandowski going to that player, putting his arm around, listen, just do this next time.
Again, yeah.
I saw that so much with Fatih, and that was the best part for me.
It's another breath of fresh air. I want to ask you, look, I know last season when Xavi came in, there was a whole hype, like, just get in the top four. What are you hoping for Barcelona this season? Because now you have to build on it. You have to go a step further. What are you hoping for Barcelona?
Honestly, I'm hoping for a good Champions League and potentially even winning the Champions League. And
Xavi said that.
And I mean the league. I would be shocked if I don't win the league this season. Like really, it's one of the things because we invested so well, and I don't want to be that guy that says because Real Madrid didn't invest in their team, they shouldn't do as well this season. Because ultimately, your investments, like last season, they were saying the same thing, but Real Madrid ended up winning the league and the Champions League.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like you don't want to doubt that Real Madrid team because I mean at the same time they're still unbeaten. So you don't want to doubt them, and it's at the same time you don't want to doubt Carlo Ancelotti because that man is just. If you really look at the way that man brings on substitution and stuff, he wins games with
substitutions. Eyebrow goes
substitutions.
up, you know something's about to go on.
So, but at the same time, looking at this Barca team, knowing what we can do, and seeing that this is only the start, it's only going to get better for me. I mean, when Fatih starts hitting his form, then you have Rafinha, then you have Dembele that's also playing so well. I'm convinced we're going to win the league this season. Champions League, you never know. We could come up against City and things might go very differently this season with our Haaland up front.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking that this is going to be a really good season for Barca.
Facts. I like it. So 3 teams that you would say favourites for the Champions League. Obviously City.
Favourites for the Champions League. This season definitely giving it to City. City's going to be one of the favourites. I still don't see the PSG hype, so I'm not going to go down that route. I'm going to go for City, Barca, and then the other one I just have to give it because I know how they are. It's Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yeah.
Because it's their tournament. And I mean for a lot of people also that's saying that they had bad transfer winners, they should have replenished the squad. There's a couple of positions that I'm seeing that, but realistically, the one thing that I've always respected about Real Madrid is when they make signings, it's always smart. They will sign 2 Brazilian players now for 30 million each. You won't see them now, but you'll see them in 2 years and then they take over.
I mean, look what they did now with Chouameni and Kamavinga.
Those are the 2 players that came into the team. Look at, and I mean, all they need to do is that they just follow the same path that Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo has.
That's the cream. You wouldn't put Bayern in there, bro? The one last night they beat Inter.
I think even though they won that game, Lewandowski not being in that team is still a massive miss for them. They played well last night, not gonna lie, they did. But there's gonna come games where they just need someone to finish off their chances. And I like Mane a lot, but I don't think he's that player in that position for them in that team.
He's struggling there, I'm not gonna lie. Sane is coming up with the business there.
Yeah, so that's my thing. It's just like I mean, Mane's not doing too bad there, but it's just there needs to be that person that can finish a chance. Like if you look at every single team that's ever won a Champions League or that's ever won a league, there's always been 2 things. There's been a striker that could finish chances and a holding midfielder that could break down everything, a commander in the middle of the field. And once upon a time it was N'Golo Kante at Leicester, and then they had Vardy up front. And then when you're looking at Arsenal back in the day, it was Henry up front, it was Vieira in the midfield. So as long as they have that, they're okay. They have that in Kimmich, but I don't think they have that up front. They don't have that striker that can do the business for them. So honestly, I think I'm gonna go for those 3 in mind. And what about you?
City, Barca, Real Madrid, exactly the same. Exactly the same. I'll go exactly the same.
You gonna give Barca the Barca?
Something is happening there at Barcelona. I'm not saying that because you're sitting opposite.
I wasn't expecting that.
Now something is happening there at Barcelona, bro. Like you said, I can see who's going. Look, I know you're 2 points off the top now. I think in La Liga.
Just under Real Madrid.
Just under Real Madrid, they got 100% record. But look, it's a long season, and ultimately it comes down to that game in the Classico for once. I'm looking forward to it actually. So it's going to be nice. Man of the week in the European Man of the Week. Man
of the Week. Okay, let's. I want to go Haaland, I want to go Lewandowski for the hat-trick, but another shout would actually be Koundé. I would go Koundé.
3 assists, bro.
3 assists. And
Come
also
on.
the thing is, when he came in, I'll be honest, I was the Barca fan that was saying, I don't want Koundé, I wanted William Saliba. That was actually my shout. I was like, nah, the thing is, I don't see us paying 60 million for a player that ultimately doesn't perform as he should for France.
Exactly, that was my thing. I wanted Koundé to come to Chelsea because I was like, can you imagine Francis and Gano and Koundé playing next to each other? But look at him now, oh my days.
But then he came in, he's playing really well. He's basically that speedy defender that we needed. And at the same time, he can actually fit in the right back. And I mean, if you look at the assist and stuff, there's been talk of how he's very good at linking up play. But now I'm seeing it firsthand. 3 assists in 2 games is only. I mean, at the end of the day, this is only the start for him. It's only going to get better. It's only going to grow from here. And hopefully, there's going to be a partnership between. Like I'm looking forward to a back 3 formation for Barca with Eddie Garcia, Ronaldo Araujo, and Koundé there, and I just think that's the game changer for Barca if we go into that. But yeah, I would go for Koundé, my player of the week. You?
Player of the week. Look, I was also special shout out to Dembele. Eh?
Oh, it's a good shout.
Dembele, special shout out for him. I mean, he could have left you guys 6 months ago, but look, he's on job. That assist last night was quality, bro.
And I think the thing with Dembele is also it's kind of like he's finally showing that potential that we were hoping for. Because yes, like a lot of people say, yeah, this is his make or break season regardless. But I mean, he's finally playing like a player that's not scared to get injured.
Exactly.
He's not just the thing that always used to frustrate me with him was always left right and center, just shots. Then one of those would hit the target, one would go in, and then all of a sudden there's plays for him, but realistically he took 8 before that.
True, exactly.
Now it's more like he's a composed player. He gets to the byline, looks up. I see him actually looking around.
Yeah, that's assist last night. That assist was him.
And the nice thing was just that little thing that he did before he made the pass, just that little look up. He does that so much more now, and that's what you're seeing. Those little lob passes that he does, the through the leg passes. He's finally coming into his own, and I think that's what fits so well with a player like Rafinha on the other wing. Having those two, having a player that focuses more on the assists, and then you have Rafinha that's like he has that flair, and when he gets the chance, he's gonna go for goal like a Marius kind of a player. It's kind of a nice bond. It's a nice relationship that can be built between the two of them.
Yeah. But look, my man of the week, I'm gonna go for Neymar. I think Neymar's been on outstanding form, and I'm loving it because for all the slander he gets, Neymar's a ball. If you don't rate Neymar, then you don't know football. I'm sorry, and I love it. I love Neymar just being the man because Neymar said before the season starts, this year they're going to see me, and they are seeing him. Special shout out as well to Mudryk of Shakhtar. Nobody knew him, I'll admit. I also didn't know him when we were linked with him. We were linked with him for like 40 million. I was like, why are we paying for this? Why would we want to go into that conversation with Shakhtar? But I mean, after that performance now, the other night, and more games that you're going to see of him in the Champions League, his price is only going to go up. So yeah.
The thing with Neymar, I think Neymar has that same thing that I just spoke about with Dembele. It's also because Neymar was being linked out of the club, because he was getting booed by the club and stuff. I think that's also for him. It's like he knows this is also his make or break time.
Facts.
I mean, the World Cup is coming up. He needs to. He obviously wants to put in a good performance there, but he also knows that if I'm gonna win anything over the course of the rest of my career, it has to happen in the next 2 seasons.
Exactly, true.
Because I can't see Neymar playing when he's 35, 34. I can't.
They won't.
So he knows this is now his time. And at the same time, he knows also that PSG squad is never going to get better than it is now.
Exactly.
So push this team as much as possible.
Facts.
Let's go on an unbeaten run in the league.
True.
And then let's win the Champions League. I think that's what's going on.
I like it. But yes, people, we come to the end of our European Topics show for this week. Let us know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, like I said at the top of this video, like and subscribe to Total Tide Talks. Karamba, don't let me take out the wooden slipper. It's DVD TV. It's Total Tide Talks. We are out of here. Bless.